In September, I made a settlement offer to Ethan for $17,500. This offer was publicly revealed by Ethan to his Instagram followers. I believe it is highly unlikely that a court would find me liable for copyright infringement at all, and certainly not malicious copyright infringement.
Being persistent is usually rewarding, but you need to learn from your mistakes, improve yourself, and change your strategy sometimes. Kaceytron is a character who did none of these except for being persistent.
What we do here is go back.
Now, I imagine you are not very familiar with her, so I'm going to start by giving you some context. Kacey embraced and satirized the trope of booby streamer as her career started around 2013. She was really early in this genre and happened to be quite successful. An ironic female gamer, almost as iconic as the YouTubers of that era. I also need to mention that she used to be friends, or friendly, with Destiny. Yep, it's all Ethan Hasan Destiny. Yep. Remember, this is before Hasan grabbed Twitch from the balls. I believe he was still doing his little funny bro tips.
Old enough to count, old enough to mount? Question mark?
Anyways, here is another funny clip for you to contextualize the relationship between Destiny, Hasan, and Kaceytron.
Against. Do you think there's a group of people you cannot be racist against?
No, I think you can be dead people. White people for sure. Yeah, but I'm looking at this from a consequentialist perspective. Like, what are the damaging elements of being discriminatory towards white people? Are there like a bunch of like non-white owned businesses that specifically say no?
The word to
yeah, just answer the question. Can you be racist to white people or not?
If there was a majority nation of non-whites that dominated that nation.
How about no?
Hold on. Yeah, but so if
honestly excluded white people, then in that hypothetical scenario, I would consider that racism.
Okay, but so you can't be racist towards the majority?
No, you can still be racist towards the majority. There are plenty of, I mean, maybe not racist, but you can still be discriminatory towards the majority.
You can't be racist towards
Hasan, that was the best strawman you've ever built so far, but let's cut the fat.
I don't think you know what strawman is.
Can you
repeating that word over and over again, dog.
All right, would you want to answer the question this time? Can you be racist towards white people?
Yes.
I'm giving you the definition. I said, well, technically yes, but I'm also explaining to you that it's not as simple as people think.
Types of racism that people talk about and they often get conflated. Okay, so the question is, can you be racist towards majority people? Under the definition that we typically work with, like I guess like in, I don't want to say like in academia or sociologically, we would say no. Minority people can't usually exercise like any sort of oppressive racism towards the majority of people. And the reason why is because we consider racism to be prejudice plus power. If every black person in the United States today was like, fuck white people, it wouldn't really affect us much because white people are more socioeconomically privileged, because we have more businesses, we have more representation in Congress, et cetera, et cetera. Whereas if you're a majority power person and you can be oppressive towards a minority class person, like by virtue of them being minority class, like by that virtue alone, they're already typically disadvantaged in American society. So when we say like, can somebody be racist against somebody under like, I guess like the common vernacular of like, could somebody hate somebody because of their skin color? Of course, anybody can do that. But when we start like analyzing society, we look at like meaningful demonstrations of racism. So for instance, like the criminal justice system or economic disadvantages, right? In these ways, minority people can't really exercise racism against majority people because they don't really have the status or the power in society in order to do so.
Yeah,
it's like I wish Destiny could just come in at the beginning and give us the right answer right away instead of making us wait.
So we didn't have to list a fucking Hasan.
Yeah, it just makes me feel
like we have the cheat sheet right here.
Honestly, like
it's funny because like the only way
it's such a fucking retarded thing to say. Like I'm sorry, but like if you can't comprehend the fucking shit that I'm saying,
you said
it's
the
on
R
you, okay? I'm doing as best as I'm doing.
Hey, yeah, Wes.
You said the R
Wes,
word.
He literally said the exact same thing that I just said. Like, what the fuck are you guys talking about?
You can say retard on Twitch. Set up and says it all the time.
Fuck Twitch then.
No, wait, relax. Hey, come on.
Man, I gotta say, Kaceytron used to be a grade 8 troll. Actually, while making this video, I checked out her previous content as well, and honestly, she really is funny, unlike Denims or Frogan. So yeah, Kaceytron used to play games, do funny stuff, and garner a very decent audience. Unfortunately, it's hard or impossible to track the stats around the time she popped off, but you can see the high points in 2015 and 16 here. Then, she unfortunately started falling off, had some relevancy during COVID, well, because of COVID, and fell off again. She has always beefed with bigger streamers like XQC and Asmongold, calling people incels non-stop, and honestly devaluing the word itself. For me, incel means nothing right now. Right, that's enough lore. Let's talk about the relevant events which took us to today. As you might know, Ethan made the content nuke on Hasan in February 2025 and copyright registered the video. Now, to be clear, he didn't have to do this for a lawsuit. By registering it though, he can claim statutory damages and attorney's fees, which are the biting force of a lawsuit. To truly understand why all this happened, we first need to visit ancient Egypt. The year is 13th century BC. No wait, don't click away, I'm joking. So, basically, Ethan and my fellow countryman Hasan used to have this Leftovers podcast together. October 7th happened.
The cabinet is run by genocidal maniacs, okay? They're led by Netanyahu, who should resign in disgrace and go to prison for being a war criminal, okay? He's made a coalition of the most radically conservative freaks that don't represent, by the way, the majority of Israelis. And they're hellbent on genocide, frankly, overtly.
They agreed on 99% of everything, but of course Hasan has to defend Islamist terrorism and expect his Jewish co-host to do the same. Well, that didn't work out obviously, so now everyone thinks this Jewish guy who was calling out Israel's actions even 10 years ago is a mega Zionist. Would you believe me if I said he is not? Because I'm Turkish too, and I also used to be a Muslim. I'm basically brown, I'm not even white like Hasan. And I also live in Turkey, so you gotta believe me. In any case, a bunch of Hasan orbiters helped spread baseless accusations about H3, including Kaceytron. But up until the lawsuit itself, Casey weren't even a side character in all this stuff. Hasan's moderator Frogan kind of started the butterfly effect. Denims is a disgusting freak all around, but Kaceytron is also a freak, but honestly, she didn't have much of an effect. So why did she get sued? Why does Ethan Klein hate white women? The answer might be simpler than what you expect. In my Frogan video, I showed you how she clearly pirates copyrighted content even now. She can do a live stream of anything and farm the audience as long as she deletes the VOD later. React content has always been perceived as leeching off by other content creators. Funnily enough, H3 also used to be a reaction and commentary channel. They got sued by someone who got seriously offended by the video Ethan made. Up until that point, commentary had been in a weird legal gray zone. Anyways, they won the lawsuit and practically set the high bar for what a commentary YouTube video can be. Actually, let me read you the court decision, okay? The court concluded that the first factor, purpose and character of the infringing work, weighed heavily in defendants' favor, because their video is quintessential criticism and comment. The second factor, nature of the copyrighted work, favored plaintiff because the work was entirely scripted and fictional. The third factor, amount and substantiality of the portion used, was neutral, and their use of clips was plainly necessary and reasonable to accomplish the transformative purpose of critical commentary. The final factor, effect of the use upon the potential market, weighed in favor of defendants because their video does not serve as a market substitute for the plaintiff's video. Okay, there is a bar now. For your video to be considered fair use, 1. It needs to be scripted. 2. You probably cannot use someone else's whole video. And 3. You cannot be a market substitute.
Every December, this will be our 5th year. Every December, we're live for the full month of December. We do a marathon, a Christmas marathon. And I'll probably have all of my ad revenue go towards the lawsuit for the Christmas marathons.
I find that hilarious because during last year's Christmas subathon, Casey would put a full movie on before going to bed on stream, and then she would loop a green screen recording of her reacting to the movie. You can literally see it cut when it loops.
Hey, big brother, remind me of your Christmas plans again. You know how I'm going to Colorado with Martin.
She's going to infringe on copyright to raise money for her copyright lawsuit. Calling it now.
I'm in danger.
A lot of people have been wanting to watch this without necessarily supporting Ethan Klein. So we're going to watch it.
Well, that's a really dumb thing to say, don't you think? Why are you so comfortable? We've given each complaint a clever little title, and here's Kaceytron's. She smoked more than she spoke. Kaceytron smokes 42 times during her reaction. And just as a silly thought experiment, we thought, wouldn't it be funny if she spent more time smoking than she did talking? And thinking there was no way that that could be true. Well, we tallied them up, and lo and behold, there's 15 minutes 40 seconds of commentary versus 18 minutes and 55 seconds of smoking. She spent 3 minutes and 15 seconds longer smoking than she did talking in her quote-unquote reaction. And whatever talking she did was just to express how confused she was, presumably from smoking 42 times.
Bro, if you wanna be a hater, be a smart one. Why the fuck are you declaring your intent to steal? And some people think that Ethan's own lawsuit could be used against him. Are you really gonna tell me that this part applies to Kaceytron? So you need a low bar for this shit. You can't just rerun entire shows or highly produced YouTube videos and leech off them.
Just because I didn't react to his stupid
video he had to make up that I did and put a video of me smoking weed over his stupid video to get attention. I'm sorry, I don't give a fuck about your video. Like, I don't know. I don't recall reacting to it. I don't believe that I reacted to it. I do not remember. I don't know. I may have been under the influence, but I do not recall reacting to it.
Yes, she is being 100% serious. This is not a joke. After realizing that she has really been sued, she created a GoFundMe campaign because, you know, lawsuits are expensive and PayPix should pay for it. She managed to gather quite a bit, but it's nowhere close to the goal. Alright, you have a couple options. A. Do a settlement before it gets out of hand. B. Work hard and make money for your lawyer costs. C. Attack the guy who is suing you already. Why would you do that? I honestly have no idea.
Ethan Klein, blast you to fucking hell. No, like, what the fuck? Oh, this no good motherfucker and his ugly ass wife. Fucking cunt. God.
Yeah, dude, call me crazy, but I don't think calling his wife ugly or a cunt is gonna help you. She knew she was fucked, so the best move would be to double down and grift after calling out Ethan's employees and killing any chance of an easy settlement. Also at this point, you should ask yourself, why didn't Hasan help? Why did he not offer any financial or even emotional help? Why didn't he promote these funding efforts in his Twitch stream? If this is as important as they say, and this is going to change the reaction content meta, then it is your duty to push this to your audience.
I have no intention to keep any money from this fundraising for any personal use whatsoever. If we are unable to reach a settlement soon, this could stretch all the way to December of next year and cost me hundreds of thousands of dollars in lawyers' fees through the end of the trial. To be clear, I don't make anywhere near this kind of money. Like most Americans, I live paycheck to paycheck.
Now, this is a bold-faced lie. Here you can clearly see how much Kaceytron made in 2 years between 2019 and 2021. If you look at the subscription graph, Kaceytron has a lot more subscribers compared to this period of time right now. So she's possibly making more than 100k a year, and if that's paycheck to you, you are fucking crazy.
Since this lawsuit was announced, it has resulted in a barrage of hate and harassment that has been incredibly mentally taxing. Every day across all of my social media, I am relentlessly reminded that my life could be ruined, that myself and my family could wind up living on the streets, that Ethan is going to foreclose on my home. All realities that feel very real to me right now, and all being used by hateful onlookers to push me into killing myself. The thought of dealing with the constant doxing, threats to my life, and harassment for another year is extremely dark. This treatment wears on a person, and it has left me feeling extremely drained, isolated, and depressed. Moving forward, I'll continue to provide any updates on any future developments. It may end up being a long road, and I'm going to be working hard to keep up with the legal fees every month for as long as is necessary if this litigation is not settled soon. I've changed my GoFundMe goal to better reflect the cost of this sort of litigation. Again, these funds are exclusively for my lawyer fees. This is not money that will go towards any sort of settlement or to any of my personal expenses.
Don't let the crocodile tears deceive you, okay? She has a Twitch career. She has a YouTube channel with almost 100k subscribers. She has TikTok. She has a Patreon. You already have an audience, you just gotta fucking work, dude. No YouTube videos, no Patreon posts. You're just missing out on free money. I think her streaming persona might have blended with her real character at some point. Just days after this little begging attempt, where she said the donated money would absolutely not go to Ethan and Hila, she ate her words before Denims could form a sentence.
I want to begin by stating I take responsibility for infringing the content nuke. The lawsuit was not frivolous. When I said the lawsuit was frivolous and based on misogyny, it was to garner sympathy, protect my own reputation, and retaliate against the Kleins. This lawsuit has given me a greater understanding of copyright protection, people's copyrights, and the importance of protecting copyrights in the online content creation community. It is important for the entire content creation community to respect the intellectual property rights of other creators, and I will adhere to the lessons I've learned throughout this process going forward. I also want to make clear that I did not receive any support, financial or otherwise, from Hasan Piker. Hasan never even reached out to me privately to offer words of support. Speaking honestly, I found his indifference to my suffering hurtful, especially after he hinted he might help me behind the scenes. It felt like he wanted to receive credit from the public for helping me without providing any. As to the GoFundMe money, to the extent there are any remaining funds after I pay my attorney's fees, I have agreed to pay the remaining funds to the Kleins. The funds will not go to anyone else, including Denims or Frogan, to defend their lawsuits. For the record, I have agreed to cooperate with the Kleins in their litigation against the H3 Snark mods for promoting my live stream to the extent that I am able. I will offer my support, including testifying under oath to everything I have just stated, to help their cause. I also want to take the opportunity to acknowledge other misconduct and bad behavior I have exhibited online. For example, weaponizing the death of Asmongold's mother was inexcusable. I should know better because I have 3 disabled people that rely on me. Moving forward, I will do better. I also want to apologize to the crew of the H3 podcast, particularly AB and Olivia. I apologize for calling them cowards for not quitting their jobs. That was a shameful attack on 2 people who deeply care about Palestine and Palestinian people. AB, along with his wife Lena, have done more than I have ever done for the Palestinian people, including raising over $100,000 in charity. I recognize that they have actually made Palestinian lives better, and my online antagonism and trolling has not. I apologize to Ethan and Hila personally. I have said extremely mean and cruel things about both of them, particularly my misogynistic attacks against Hila that never should have been said. I also want to acknowledge the pervasive problem of anti-Semitism in leftist spaces. It should concern all of us. I condemn it and will not participate in it. To that end, I wish the Klein success in enforcing TED Entertainment's copyright and protecting the legal rights of online content creators.
Is this petty as fuck? Yes. Is it evil? No. Here's the thing. You cannot make someone lie deliberately in a settlement. Your lawyers, the opponent's lawyers, and a certified mediator sign on it. The judge receives a report as well. Are you gonna call the judge a Zionist? Oh wait, they already did. In any case, H3 and Kaceytron have now settled. Both parties agreed on the terms, including the lawyers. And Hasan did not fund anything. Honestly, he is my capitalist icon. I'm sure his right-wing, neoliberal father Mehmet Behçet Pike is also really proud of him. If you wanna dive deeper into this madness, check out the sources I have added to the description of this video. See you on Frogan's settlement apology video soon.